Sunrise in Kyiv. Once again, the sound of gunfire in the distance as Russian forces come ever closer to Ukraine's capital. Southwest of the city, plumes of smoke rise above an oil depot in Kyiv. Ukrainian forces said the fire began after a Russian airstrike. Some Western intelligence officials say Moscow's invasion is slower than expected, but the pace of Russia's troop movement means little to people in places like the southern city of Volnovakha. In Kyiv, emergency workers search for survivors in what's left of an apartment block. The eastern city has been shelled for days by Russian forces, as has Chernihiv in the north of Ukraine. Reminders of the past are everywhere in this city, but the present is relentlessly bleak.
Air raid sirens woke us before dawn, warning of what turned out to be Russian airstrikes on a military training base, Ukraine's International Centre for Peace and Security. It's about 50 kilometres west of here, and Lviv officials have told us the Russians launched 8 missiles. We're still waiting for confirmation on any casualties or injuries, but it is a serious escalation. The base is only about 20 kilometres from the Polish border, and it's previously hosted NATO forces. It's really shifted the sense here that Western Ukraine is relatively safe. It's pretty clear nothing is off the table for Putin's forces as they continue to bombard their way towards the nation's capital.
Russia has ramped up the attack against Ukraine, with the heads of Ukrainian government officials reportedly being targeted. In the latest, reports suggest Russian military has installed a new mayor in the city of Melitopol after detaining former mayor Ivan Fedorov. Now, according to reports, Galina Dalinchenko is believed to be the new mayor, who was a former member of the city council. Dalinchenko claimed there were people in the city that want to destabilize the situation and provoke residents. She said her main task will be to revive normalcy in the city. Earlier, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said a group of 10 armed men from the Russian forces abducted Mayor Fedorov. The Foreign Ministry called the detention an abduction and war crime.
Troops have amassed in the forests of Lithuania in recent days, but so far only for a military exercise. A unit of the German Bundeswehr is training to support NATO partner Lithuania in case of attack. Since the war broke out in Ukraine, the Bundeswehr presence in Lithuania has been ramped up once again. Some 900 soldiers are now stationed here. They'll be deployed to defend this border if necessary. The Neman River separates Lithuania from the Russian oblast of Kaliningrad. The exclave is surrounded by the Baltic Sea, Poland and Lithuania, and it's well armed with Russia's Baltic fleet stationed here. It's also believed to be a nuclear weapons storage site.
Still in Pakistan, a day after India admitted accidental firing of a missile that landed in Pakistan territory, Pakistan has now demanded a joint probe into the accident. The Indian Defence Ministry on Friday acknowledged the incident of the missile that landed in Pakistan's Mian Chanu in Kaniwal district on 9th of March. Issuing a statement, the Indian Ministry of Defence said, and I quote, "On March the 9th, 2022, in the course of a routine maintenance, a technical malfunction led to the accidental firing of a missile." It further said, and I quote again, "It is learned that the missile landed in an area of Pakistan. While the incident is deeply regrettable, it is also a matter of relief that there has been no loss of life due to the accident."
It's the first time we're seeing an attack of this scale after the IRGC leader Qasem Soleimani was killed in Baghdad, and ballistic missiles were fired both in northern Iraq and towards US facilities, military facilities that is, in Iraq. So far, no official confirmation whether these 12 missiles were fired by Iran, but what we're hearing from officials is that an investigation has been ordered to try and figure out where these missiles came from and what was the motive. What we know from US and Iraqi officials is that there was no damage caused by these 12 missiles, which hit around midnight Iraqi time on the outskirts of Erbil, that is the capital of the semi-autonomous region of Kurdistan.
"36-year-old Gabriel Boric entered the Senate hall without a tie. Just one way of showing he's not changed since he was a shaggy-haired student leader fighting for social justice. Now, a decade later, he's heading the country with other former student leaders. They're a new generation promising to overhaul an economic model that has contributed to deep social inequalities. Thousands of supporters swarmed the plaza in front of the presidential palace, hoping to see and touch their new president.
Armenia's foreign minister has made a rare visit to Turkey for a meeting with his counterpart. After decades of hostility that has roots in Turkey's genocide against the Armenians in 1914, both countries are now moving closer together. Around 1.2 million Armenians were either massacred, deported or sent on death marches.
In
our meeting, we agreed on the continuation of the normalization phase, with the aim of establishing diplomatic relations without preconditions and the opening of borders. In 2020, Turkey backed Azerbaijan, helping it defeat Armenia after just 6 weeks of fighting in a war over the Nagorno-Karabakh breakaway region. Josep Borrell, the European Union's foreign policy chief, also met with the two foreign ministers in Antalya.